Hey, hey, hey. What it is, people? Can anybody hear me out there? Hello, Marie. Hello, Weigold. Hello, Sorrente. How is everybody? Can you see and hear me? Am I coming in okay? Hey, Austin. How are you? Can you guys hear me? Hey, Carl and Jenny. Glad to see you guys are here. Man, I'm so sorry I missed your live stream today. I'll try not to do that. You can see and hear me. Excellent. Hey, Joe in Wisconsin. How are you? Hear me just fine. Awesome. All the way in England. You guys are up late, aren't you? It's like midnight there. Mahi-mahi. Hey, Captain. What's up, dude? Hey, Chip. How are you? Hello, everybody. Sorry if my camera's jiggling a little bit, but Miss Lily is out of the crate and she wants some loving right now. For some reason, all of a sudden, she wants petted. She's been leaving me alone for the last hour, and now all of a sudden she wants love. So, hello, dog. Anyhow. Hey, Declan. No, I can't hear you or see you. Decurtative 1 a.m. What is that, Mike? What is that, 1 o'clock in England? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Define date. Rhonda, what does define date mean? Really, get. You're getting into stuff now. I'm going to have to put you in your crate. I'm not sure what that is. Here it's 1 a.m. Okay, it's 1 a.m. Well, cool. Very good. Well, there's not a whole lot new or exciting going on up here in Alaska. In fact, I've been rather frustrated this whole week. Lily is just fine. Give her a big hug. Okay. They said to give you a hug. How about I give you a dog bone instead? Maybe then you'll leave me alone. Hold on a second, folks. She really likes the Kirkland brand dog food. Better than the other ones. Yep, there you go. Yeesh, okay. Got her put away. All right. I love to listen to Jazz FM from London online. Huh, okay. Anyhow, Miss Lily's in her crate, so she'll be fine now. Sorry about all that. Anyhow, as I was saying, things have been rather frustrating up here in Alaska. Millie needs a GoPro cam if she wants to run the camera. Lily does have a dog. We do have a harness thing for her. She's got a little harness that I put on her little chest harness, and the GoPro attaches to it. I've had some videos of her done that way before. There will be a lot more coming. The Lily Cam, we call it. The Lily Cam. So you'll see more of that. But, yeah, frustrating week up here, guys. I get a call. Okay, I heard nothing all week. We're supposed to have the appraiser out here. Heard nothing all week. So I'm texting the lady buying the property, what's going on. I'm contacting the banker. Hey, what's going on? No answer from anybody, right? Hey, Cam, glad to see you here. Kelly's mowing. Oh, God, I hate mowing. Who sells Kirkland dog bones? Costco sells Kirkland. Kirkland is Costco brand. Yep, she's good for a while. Anyhow, I didn't hear anything from anybody. 6 p.m. on Friday night, the banker lady calls me and says that they've been having difficulty finding an appraiser. The appraiser that we were hiring that was supposed to do the appraisal back on July 15th, who was out of state, which is why we were waiting from July 1st to July 15th for that appraiser to get back in state. Apparently they were further delayed and did not end up back here until, or was not supposed to be back till July 15th. She'd been delayed, and now she's not back until this coming week. So they've made no progress on our appraisal at all. We just sitting there waiting and waiting. I mean, literally just wasted an entire month waiting on this appraiser to get here and get the job done. So supposedly going to be here. They say they're going to have it done. The appraiser says they're going to have it done by the 9th, August 9th. And the bank says if they can get it done by August 9th, then we can still close before the end of the month. So that's still the plan. But I have given old Bob over at Sailing Doodles a heads up that we might be a little delayed waiting for them to do their job. You know, it's just so frustrating. Guys, I'm a real estate broker. Okay, I do this all the time. In the time that I've been putting together this contract on my property and getting this woman to buy my property, I have sold and closed no less than 8 other properties that have been in contract, went through the entire process, got appraised, and sold. The problem is, and this is where we're running into a problem, is that I have a very large piece of property, 80 acres, and I am in the far north end of the Matsu Valley, and the problem is the appraisers don't want to come up here and do any appraisals because there's not sufficient comparables. They can't make the banks happy by giving them enough comparables. There's just not that many properties of this size selling up in this part of the woods. And that's where the problem lies. So once again, I have a unique property, and that's creating problems for me. It's the fact that it's a unique property is what I loved about it in the first place, but apparently that's getting to be an issue. Either way, it's moving along. It's just happening a whole lot slower than I was hoping for. So Grandpa's been a little frustrated this week. A little frustrated. Hey, Tomer, how you doing? Hello, everybody out there. Nice to see y'all. Hey, Dave. Glad to see everyone here. So, progress in other areas. The auction stuff's gone fine. Hauling away trash. Guys, it is so frustrating. Oh, I know. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Where'd it go? There. What do you do with stuff like this and like this? Okay. This is a mosquito pants and coat that fold up into a pocket. So it's a hood and a coat and pants made for keeping the mosquitoes off of you. Ideally, I'd love to bring this with me, but it's not my size. They cost about 30 bucks. It's in perfectly good, brand new condition. And I guess I have to throw it in the garbage because I don't know what else to do with it. And that really bothers me. And then I have something like this. For any of you out there that have farms, I mean, this is just typical of very many. I have a whole bunch of things like this. This is a pair of shears you use for trimming the hooves on goats. Okay, it's made for goat hooves. They cost about 35 bucks or 40 bucks with shipping to get them here to Alaska. And nobody up here would want to buy it. And so I got to throw it in the garbage. It's just so friggin' frustrating. You get this stuff that's perfectly good stuff, and I'm just throwing it in the dumpster. Just throwing stuff in the dumpster. My garbage man loves me, man. He's been picking through my dumpster and cleaning up. Just had a whole bunch of dishes and glasses and pots and pans and stuff that, you know, should be of worth value. But I talked to my auction guy up here, and he's like, no, we won't get anything for that. No, we won't get anything for that. So Mahi-mahi says, I'll take it. Donate to a secondhand shop. Don't throw in the garbage. Yeah, Dave, we have a we have what's known as the free boxes up here in Alaska. The only problem is the couple that manages the free boxes up here in Alaska are my ex-in-laws, who I want absolutely nothing to do with. I had to evict them from my property to get them off my property. I literally had to go to court and get an eviction to get them out moved. They were refusing to leave, even after I allowed him to live here rent-free for 5 years, and I built them a cabin, and I gave them the cabin to take with them. They run that. So I'm probably not going to go over there and do that. I'd rather throw it in the garbage than give it to them. And, you know, frankly, what those people do, they do just like Goodwill. They take the items in for free and turn around and sell them to the local people. So I'm not into financing there or whatever they got going on. So let's see. Feck all live streams today. Very disappointed with the selling YouTubers. Yeah, Declan. Me and Carl and Penny Sailing Adventure, they're the only people that had live streams today, and I missed theirs. So nobody else did live streams today. I guess everyone's too busy. Well, it is off season, Declan. You have to understand that. The sailing season is over right now. So how is my back? My back is fine. Moved Catholic Social Services, place I lived. Yeah, I may try to take a load of stuff down to Wasilla and bring stuff down to... Oh, that reminds me of something I want to talk about. I may get a truckload of stuff down and just haul it down to the Goodwill down in Wasilla and give it to them. Even though that's a 100-mile round trip for me to do from up here in Alaska, I may in fact do that. Marie, if you can't see or hear me, just refresh. In fact, I noticed that my player here is buffering as well. If anybody else is having problems, let me know. What does that mean on a phone? You're watching me on a phone and you can't see or hear me. Then how do you know I responded? I don't know. Maybe jump out and try to log back in. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, Christy, happy Sunday. Hi from Manchester. Hey, Second Chance Sailing. Welcome. Glad you made it. Hey, Barry. Nice to see you. Hello, Whole Shot. Sailing Doodles live stream. Sailing Doodles, I guess, did not do a live stream today. Bob's in the process of going over and looking at another boat. I guess he just didn't do a live stream today. I'm sorry. Hey, Mike, how's things down under? He thinks they're joking. Okay. I'm buffering, but it's my end. Okay, Judy. Hey, Recycled, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, so, okay, so the reason I was reminded about Wasilla, I did a video this week of me talking about conservation versus preservation, and I was driving down the road, and I caught a lot of crap from a lot of people about it. Thank you. I really do appreciate everybody's love and concern. I really do. I am a bad person for not wearing my seatbelt. I know that. I only have two defenses for that. One is I was born and learned to drive during a time period when we did not have seatbelts, and so I just never got in the habit of it. And two, I have a herniated umbilicus, and it actually hurts me to have a strap across my belly hold me in tight. I imagine as I lose weight, that probably won't be as big of an issue, but for now it is. So I just don't wear my seatbelt, and I know that may put me at danger. That's arguable. Having served as a firefighter for many years and cleaned up very many wrecks, I saw as many people get hurt by the seatbelts as those getting saved by them. So I think the jury is still kind of out on that, but that is what it is. I also had people getting upset with me about the fact that I was recording while I was driving. I've mounted the camera up onto the windshield now. I'm not holding it. It's completely hands-free. It's no different than having a conversation with somebody else in the car. I'm still watching my mirrors and where I'm going. But guys, what you don't seem to understand is I live in a very remote part of Alaska, and there's very little traffic. In fact, I just watched one of my videos the guy was complaining about, and you could see the way the camera was angled. You could see out my window. It was 2 minutes into the video before the first car passed, and it was 4 minutes before the second one passed. I don't live in a high traffic environment, guys. It's not abnormal for me to drive 15, 20 miles and not pass another car or see another car. It's just the way it is up here. So no excuses, just wanted to clear the air with that. Let's see, if anyone cannot see YouTube live stream in the last week or two, you may need to change your browser to Chrome because it's the HTML5. I did hear that some people were having problems with live streams this week, but I don't think that the YouTubers that normally do them, I don't think they actually did them this week. Kim, baby needs me. All right, Kim, you take care. We'll see you. Take care of the baby. Grandpa, wear your seatbelt. Okay, Whole Shot. I'll try to do that. Probably not, but I'll try to do that. Wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt. Any new news on a crew member to sail with you from Puerto Rico? Nothing definite. Guys, here's the deal. I've asked Megan from Sailing Doodles to help me move the boat from Puerto Rico to Florida. Megan has said that she would like to do that, but it's just a matter of waiting till we see what our actual schedules are and what days we're going to be moving the boat. Until I actually close on the property up here, I won't have a really good idea what my schedule is going to be going forward or what days I'll be moving, and so we can't make any final decisions until really as we get closer to the last minute. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. I can't control when the bank and stuff does their thing. So as soon as we have an answer to that, then I'll be able to let everybody know what's going on. But at this point, I'm also looking for people to go on beyond that. Ideally, I'm looking for someone who has scuba diving and video camera capabilities to join me on a more regular, permanent basis. So if there's somebody out there that is interested in going on a really cool adventure for a while, whether it be for a month or for the next 8 years or so, let me know, because there'll be opportunities. I really need somebody who can dive with me and videotape while underwater. So I'm kind of looking in that direction. Don't you hate when the water splashes up on your glasses? Got it on my window there. SD are not doing anything today. Okay. Who's SD? Sailing Doodles is not doing anything today. I got you. Okay. Yep. I didn't think Bob was. I think Bob's in the process of going over and looking at another boat. At least with my old school new phone cord going grandpa, wash and replace boy, making it funny at the same time. Okay. How much did you pay Cheshire Canary? I don't pay Cheshire Canary anything. She is a friend of mine named Rhonda who helps out. Hey, Johanna, how you doing? Yeah, you don't scuba dive, and you get motion sickness, so you're probably not going to be good to have out on a boat. Just remembered what I wanted to ask you. Who did you recommend that films the west coast of Canada and Alaska? Cruising Leia Leia, C-R-U-I-S-I-N-G. Cruising Leia Leia is one. I think the other guy is Life is Like Sailing, has a channel where he's in Canada. And, oh, and then there's the other one. Rhonda, you'll remember who's the other one that, the couple on the Cal 31, what's their name? I'm blocking. It'll come to me, but, anyhow, there's another couple up here in Alaska. God, there's so many of them. It'll come to me. Give me some time and I'll remember that. But hey, Sean Dowd, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. Sorry we're keeping you up so late. No beer for Carl, straight moonshine today. No, Dave, it's just plain water. Just plain water. Cheshire Canary, we need to shorten it to CC. That's a good idea. Coast Life is one of them. That's the guy that's out here on the boat. But there's another one. It's a couple. They're on a Cal 31, much like my old boat. They're the ones, they only put a video out like once a month. And they talk about, you know, the fact that they try to be real high-end and are trying to do more of a documentary style type videos. Frankly, I think their videos are about the same as any of the other good YouTubers. It'll come to me. I'll just have to think about it for a minute. So, have you thought about filming some Alaska scenery? Turn the camera around while you're driving. Christy, I do film quite a bit. If you watch some of my videos, you'll see quite a bit. I have a drone, so I've done some aerial work as well. I try to film some up here in Alaska, although not as much as I have. And right now, I'm not filming much up here because I'm in the packing and getting mode. But I will be doing some of that pretty soon. Have you considered the portable hookah units rather than scuba gear, smaller and rechargeable? Mike, no. Hookahs are limited. I mean, you're tethered to the boat, so you're limited to how far and how deep you can go. I've been scuba diving my whole life. I'm very comfortable with that situation. You know, hookahs are good if you're just cleaning your bottom or something. But and I know they have hookahs that mount on a float that you can tow around behind you, that kind of thing. Very restrictive, and then there's that safety issue of having that hose connecting you to the surface. And so that is a concern that I can avoid by using my scuba gear. Hello, Media Copy. You just subbed. Well, welcome. Welcome to the farm. I'm glad you did. I hope you'll enjoy the videos I've got coming out. Hope everything goes okay with you and with Bob and your sale of the property. Yeah, Patrick, everything's looking great. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for it to happen. So SV0 has some good Alaska footage. Yes, he did. He's now moved south, but yes, he did. It's easier to connect to you. Okay. Thanks. We'll check out the other videos. Okay, Christy, do that. Trimming chops to trees and taking out a moose is just two different things. Yes, it is. You're CC to me now. Okay. How many dive sets do you have? Dive sets. I have just my own scuba diving set, my BC and gear, but I do have 2 tanks. And then I have free diving set, and I've got, I don't know, a half dozen snorkel sets. So, but as far as scuba sets concerned, I just have my own. Any plans for a dive compressor? Yes. Winging it, Tracy, yes. I've been researching them, and I've been shopping them. I will probably end up buying the gasoline-powered air compressor for about $3,500. It should do just fine. Hey, Georgia Boy Boomer, how you doing? I'm not in a real big hurry, so that compressor will be able to fill my tank, my 80 cubic foot tank, in about 22 minutes or so, and that's what I need for surface time anyway to offload nitrogen. So that's a good time limit for me. You think you can handle the physical demands of sailing? Absolutely. I'm not the least bit worried about it. Are you planning on getting a compressor on your tanks? Yes, I am planning on buying a compressor for my scuba tanks. I will have one on board. Not immediately, not when I first get to Puerto Rico, but when I bring the boat over to Florida, at that point, I'll be adding the compressor on. I'm going to be limited with how much stuff I can take to Puerto Rico, because I'm flying down there. But when I get back to Florida, then I'll load all their other stuff and see where it goes from here. Are you just sailing around in the Caribbean? No. This year, yes. Well, this coming winter, I'll be concentrating in the Bahamas and the northern northern Caribbean. Then in the spring, I'm thinking about going up the east coast of the United States, sailing over to the Azores and into the Mediterranean. Specifically heading towards like the Greek Isles and the Turkish coast and that area, maybe Egypt, depending on the political situation. And then back across to the Mediterranean, the Caribbean the following winter, and then through the canal and on points westward after that. So I will be doing a complete circumnavigation. According to SV Prism, having a dive compressor is the #1 way to make friends with other cruisers. Yeah, filling tanks. It's a great way to earn a little extra money too. I can pull up out there with my compressor and charge them $7 a tank to refill. So name brand. Oh man. Look at scuba.com. Scuba.com, and then look up compressors at scuba.com. It's something 35. I don't remember the exact name of it. It's something 35. The research I did, it's a good compressor. It works just fine. It's not the biggest, baddest, top of the line deal, but it'll fit well on my boat. I don't remember off the top of my head. Again, from Naples, Florida, have you looked into the full face mask? Yes, Patrick, I have. Right now, it's just not in the funding for me at the moment. I really want to go full face mask, especially for a comm situation, so I have communications, but I just don't have the funds to do that right now. Now, that's because of the way my property is selling. I'm having to hold back some of the money I'm supposed to get for up to a year or two. Once that closes and I get those funds, then yes, I'll be able to afford to do that, but it's going to have to wait a little bit initially. Networking works, yes. Try and include the Corinth Canal. Yeah, the Corinth Canal does look awesome. The Sailing Clio people just went through there. I found that interesting video. So yeah, that would be something to include. I wish they had gone more about the history of it. They didn't touch much on the history, and that would have been interesting. So Madagascar, another great place to hit, yes. Hey, Grandpa Low from Epvardos, Greece. Well, hey, Steve, nice. Yep, love Greece. Love Greece. Spent some time in Greece before. Not just Greece, but also in, I want to say Beirut, but that's not what I'm thinking of. what's the island? Half Turkish, half Greek. Cyprus. Spent some time in Cyprus on the Greek side. Love that area. Grandpa, your channel is growing so fast that you're not going to keep up with all your followers in the live chat. Yes, Chip, that is sad but true. And once that happens, we'll figure out a way for people to be able to ask questions, and I'll get them. So I'm struggling with it, but I'll try my best. How do you equalize in a full face mask? Mike, it's the same way. You still have the ability to pull in and pinch your nose. They actually have a mechanism built into the mask that when you push it up, it causes two plastic things to go up and close your nose, so you can blow out and pressurize your ears. It works very well. Tell us about your catch and cook plans. Real simple. I plan on catching fish, spearing fish, netting fish, trapping fish, fishing fish on hooks, whatever, and doing a whole hook to fork type show with it. So it's hard for me to really tell you about it until I'm actually doing it. So let that be the lesson. Once I'm on the boat, I'll start doing those episodes almost immediately. So is there AC on the rough seas? Yes, Christy, there is air conditioning on the rough seas. There is not a generator, however, on the rough seas. So it's the AC is great while you're in the marinas. But, you know, if you've been doing any sailing, you'll know that when you're out on anchor, there's usually enough wind outside of the harbors to keep you cool and keep a decent breeze blowing through the boat. It's only when you're in the marinas and you're not having good airflow that things get really hot. So the AC would help in that situation. So, guys, if I missed your question, please ask it again, okay? There's something you can do to, over Creo. Have to say I love Creo. Yes, and I will, Declan. Creo, good folks too. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of things different than what a lot of them are. What's your favorite brand of spear gun? Oh man, mahi-mahi, that's you know, I don't have one. You know, almost all of them are great. I really don't have one. There's a lot of good spear guns out there though. Oh, Somali pirates. Yeah, not too worried about it. Johnny Hag, how about some Great Lakes sailing? Yeah, Johnny Hag, probably not going to get up into the Great Lakes. I'm trying to stick with warm water sailing. That's why I'm even hesitant about going up the East Coast of the United States, because it gets cold and the visibility sucks. You can't see anything in the water. I like to swim, so probably not going to go up to the Great Lakes. And if I hit the East Coast, it's only going to be en route. You know, I may spend a day or two or three in New York area, see family and friends there. But other than that, I'm going to be heading to the Azores immediately, to getting over to the Mediterranean, get back into some warm water. We'll listen to replay. Same live chat starts in 3 minutes. Same screen. Huh? Maria, I have no idea what you mean. Fire and fish and rice, fish and fish, fish and Kirkland dog biscuits. Probably, yeah. Are you keeping the name Rough Seas? Yes, I'm going to keep the name Rough Seas Ramble on because I'm going to be selling with a dog. And I don't plan on keeping the boat forever, just for a year or two. So there's no point in going through the process. Later on, I'll be looking to step up into a newer, bigger boat. So does Rough Seas have a water maker? No, it does not have a water maker, but I will be installing one on there. I've got a friend of mine who owns Cruise RO. They're a manufacturer of water makers, and he and I have come to a deal. So I may install a Cruise RO 20-gallon per hour water maker on the boat. I can power that with a Honda 2000 generator and be producing enough water in an hour to take care of my daily needs, showers, and what have you. So that's probably what we're going to do. See you, Barry. Sorry. You stand only so much of a talking head. Hey, man, I understand it. We'll be doing more once we get on the boat, I can assure you. And he made his font bigger. I made my font bigger? I didn't know I made my font bigger. Be well, Barry. Okay. I thought we weren't supposed to yell in capitals. Yeah, Judy, that is generally accepted. Typing in all caps is yelling. But in this case, when there's so many questions coming at me, it helps if you yell so I can see them, as opposed to people talking amongst themselves. It just speeds things up if you put it in all caps so I can see it. So, What is the plan if Patreon account does not get big enough to support you? Take the boat back to Florida and renew my Florida real estate broker's license and sell real estate. You know, that's always been my fallback on my plans. I really sincerely doubt I'm going to have to do that, but we'll see. You never know. With regard to sailing Creo, not going into the history of the Corinth, it's hard to cover everything on any channel. Do you really have to decide on a style and format, then generally stick to it? You know, there is a lot of frustration with folks when I do something outside of the norm. So there's something to be said for that argument, Dave, but it's my channel and I'm going to be doing a whole lot of different things. So hopefully people will be understandable and will play along. If not, then that's okay too. So will that newer and bigger boat be a cat? Probably not, Patrick. It'll probably be a larger monohull. Ideally, I'd love to be on a Lagoon 440. I don't see me ever having the budget for such frivolity. You know, I'm going to be on monohulls because that's what I can afford. Jerem, Wisconsin, man, thank you. Really appreciate that, man. You rock. Absolutely. Chum the water. Excellent. Trying to give everybody else an idea. I love it. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Hello, New Mexico. How you doing? Do you follow La Vagabond? What are your thoughts on their new cat? Christy, I do follow La Vagabond. I do like their cat. So I'm shouting, what power supply does the boat have? Solar, wind, C-Gen? The boat has solar, Declan. Lots and lots of solar and a new battery bank. Christy, I've been following La Vagabond right from the very beginning. I follow like about 100 different sailing channels. I think their new boat is awesome, their catamaran. But I've noticed a little change in their videos now. I think they're letting their success kind of get to them a little bit, which really it had nothing to do with the cat or not being the cat. I just think that they're not the same people they were once they moved on to the catamaran, and that's a shame because they were doing really well. That said, their channel did take a bit of a hit. They lost some subscribers. They lost some patrons going to the catamaran, but now they're rebuilding that back up again. So it was only a short-term blip. I do think that I do hope they return to doing the good quality type videos they were doing before. They used to be a bit more down to earth. Now I'm seeing, you know, the latest Paris fashions and that kind of stuff, and I don't have any interest in that kind of stuff. So did a vid on the Rainmaker water maker, very portable machine, looks great. Yeah, Dave Barry, I've seen them. They're very expensive compared to the deal I made with Cruise RO. And, you know, I like to have one just installed and in place because you can tuck it up places out of the way rather than have a portable one and having to reset it up and tear it down, set it up and tear it down. So, let's see. Do you think 10,000 per video is a bit much? Yeah, I do. But it depends on what you're doing. Oh, Dave Maui-Lehi, man, you rock. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, dude. Hi, Keith. How you doing? Yeah, I think 10,000 is ridiculous. But if they're doing something with that, I mean, if you only put it in your pocket, then no. You know, if you're only funding your retirement or whatever, then no. But I think if you're doing something more with that and using it to expand or develop or improve the experience or something, then yeah, I could see having that sometime in the future. I like your answer for future plans, Grandpa, and my wife and I are following. Wish you well. Well, thank you, happily retired. I appreciate that. I hope you'll follow along. I see Grandpa is open as what he wants with money is for. You know, I'm going to try to have a little bit better boat. Mostly any money that I have coming in is just going to be for, you know, basics, food. I don't drink a lot of beer. I'm not going to be a big drinking channel. I tend to avoid tourist destinations. I don't like going to bars. But yet, you know, I want to be able to take you guys to the Greek Isles and show you, you know, the restaurants there on the quay and what food they serve. More importantly, though, I'd like to go back to the farmers that raise that food and kind of show you, you know, the mechanisms of where those people are. I think more we understand other cultures, the more tolerant we are of other people. So, Older La Vagabond videos were more organic. Yeah, they were. It seems like they're a little different now. So, yeah, and my channel, I don't want my channel to be all about me. I want my channel to be about places and stuff. And about what we're doing and about the things you can do and, you know, how to live cheaply, you know, how to provision off the water, how to harvest, you know. I find it unconscionable, absolutely crazy to me that there's cruisers out there who are vegetarians. Nothing against vegetarians, but you're sailing on top of the single largest bio mechanism in the world with all this great proteins underneath of you, and to sail across that and not eat any of it is just crazy. So really love your channel. They're great. Their channel. You're talking about La Vagabond. La Vagabond does do a good channel. Sailing Nanji is a great channel. Yes, they are. Just documented their setup to blue water sailing. They've done their first blue water crossing, done it on tight edges. Yeah, there's a lot of good channels out there, guys. It's not all Delos and La Vagabond. There's a bunch of them. Would have given their old yacht away for free. That would have gone a long way to show they were decent people. Yeah, man, that's an awful lot of money to give away. You know, they did try to raffle it or auction it, but again, that was try to make some money out of it. You know, you can't spend $100,000 on a boat and just give it away. I don't care who you are. That would just be foolish. So I doubt they would have done that. Try to search for Charles Colvad. Lots of information on Greece. I will do that. Give Vagabond some time. They are swimming in a new waters and will learn to be who they want to be again. Yeah, Jer, I happen to agree with that. I am optimistic that La Vagabond will get back to doing their. I mean, once the new wears off, they'll get back to being just them. At least I hope so. For every video you do, great channel, Grandpa. Well, thank you, Second Chance Sailing. I appreciate that. You say you don't want this to be about you, but do you? We're here. We love you, Grandpa. Well, yeah, I understand that whole shot. People are here and they're wanting to see me, but the channel should not. I mean, so many of these sailing channels are just, hey, look at me, I'm on the beach drinking a beer, or look at me, I'm doing this, or look at me, I'm doing that. That's not the attitude that I want to have with my videos. And I can say that all year long. It's going to be just take me time to show you getting out there and making the videos, and you'll see. Make 350,000 pounds a year. Yes, Second Chance, I'm aware of that. There are some channels out there that make much more than that, actually. So, Sailing La Vagabond had to purchase their new boat. Well, yes and no. They are buying their boat, but their down payment was sort of the sponsorship deal, as I understand it. So, Adventures of an Old Sea Dog, one of my friends. Yes, Keith, I agree with you. Yep. Adventures of an Old Sea Dog. He's actually a subscriber of mine. Great guy. Love his channel. Been watching him for a long time. Guys, he's been doing videos for years. I mean, like 8, 9 years now. Go back and look at some of his old stuff. It's hysterical. You know, but still the same old crusty codger. Gotta love that guy, you know. Gotta love that guy. And the man covers some distance. You know, he just sailed completely across the Atlantic. He's down in the Med now. Or in the Caribbean now. Awesome guy. Is not in. Is not in. Okay. Okay. Med has been videoed to death. What about east coast of South America, south of Puerto Rico and Venezuela? Mike, I agree with you. There are a lot of places that I'm going to be traveling. The Med has been done a lot, but again, there's so much to the Med that nobody's even touched base on. I'm a diver. Keep in mind, guys, I do a lot of scuba diving, so I'm going to be showing you some of the different things about the Med that most of these other people are not showing. Yes, Rhonda, you can. I'll just, there you go. Yes, Rhonda, you can, of course. Top 5 sailing channels. Sailing doodles. Well, it depends on what you mean, Christy. Top 5 sailing channels. Historically, the older ones, you've got Cruising Leia Leia, you've got Distant Shores. Who were some of the early on people? I guess those two are the originals that were, Distant Shores were more commercial than Cruising Leia Leia, but they've been doing it for a long time. Up today, earnings and popularity, Delos and La Vagabond, Sailing Doodles, Rick Moore, Rand Sailing are probably the biggest ones right now. I mean, there's too many really to mention, but those are probably the big guys at the moment. Any updates on Sailmates? No updates as of yet. Declan, dude, thank you, sir. Real, keep it salty. Thank you, Declan. I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, Sailing Emerald Steel is another good channel. A little hard to watch. Sailing Emerald Steel, I find a little hard to watch, especially when their episode is just the two of them sitting at the table, talking. Although they've got some great content, and they really know what they're doing. So, thank you, Declan, buddy. I appreciate that. LaFan Death. Grandpa, be careful about scuba in Greece. I'm told that if you're diving anywhere near an antiquity without government... Yes, I would definitely have government permits and film permits. Life, and I can assure you of that. I appreciate you bringing that up, but yes, that would be there. Had my turn my phone on and off. Well, Marie, I'm sorry you had to do that, but I'm glad you made it. Do you follow Ruby Rose? Yes, I do. They're on break right now. They're in England. Their boat's up on the Hard. Good people. I like to tease them about his chicken and waffles, but yeah, Ruby Rose, and they do some nice content. Ruby Rose does some interesting content. A little too much drinking still, but that's okay. Yes, Emerald Steel is the real deal. Rick has been around forever. I like the old Sailing La Vagabond, new ones. It's a funny thing, YouTube channels, when they have a small cult following, the fans think are great. When they get some success, they call them sellouts. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just human nature, I'm afraid. 30 years of experience, Grandpa. Emerald Steel. Yeah, I know. Emerald Steel really knows their stuff. I grant you. They've got tons of experience. If there was a channel that I would say, to go to learn about working on boats or keeping your cruising life going, they would certainly be up in the top couple ones. So, Keith says, Grandpa, tell me if you agree with this. It seems like the sailing channels that has the word sailing at the beginning of their channels name always seem to do the best with subscribers and views. Well, yeah, because people get on the search and they type in sailing, and so that having it in their name causes that to come up. That's why my channel actually has Grandpa's Farm Goes Sailing. The reason I put the sailing in there is just to have that tie in to the search engines. But yeah. By putting sailing as the first word in your name would definitely help you with your gaining subscribers. Frankly, I hope to gain subscribers due to quality content, but we'll see what happens. Nothing wrong with chicken and waffles, whole shot. It was just, Ruby Rose are British. They're from England. They don't do chicken and waffles in England. He was in the States. He had chicken and waffles for the first time and was surprised by it. He had never heard of that before, and he made a deal about it, and so now we tease him about it. It's all good. When are your T-shirts coming out? It's a good question. I will work on that. Will I sell merch? Yes, apparently I will, because people are asking for T-shirts. So I'm not a big fan on that, though. Let me just touch base with that. I'm not a big fan on creating more landfill material, but I will try to do some things, but they'll be ecologically sensitive. Hey, New Jersey to Florida, man, thank you. That is awesome. Hope to meet up when I get to Florida, too. Yes, absolutely. We'll do that. We'll get together and have a beer. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the donation. Very awesome of you. Follow the Boat. Yeah, Follow the Boats. They do some interesting videos. Absolutely. Yep, they're in the Philippines right now. They're in kind of dangerous waters, actually, at the moment. There's a lot of political upheaval right now, so I'm a little concerned about them. Are you planning sailing alone from boat's location to the Mediterranean or enlist help The boat right now is in Puerto Rico. I'm going to have crew help me move it to Florida. And then I'm going to have crew jump on from Florida going over to the Bahamas and sailing with me in the Bahamas for a while. There will be crew on board, and there will be opportunities for folks to jump in from time to time. Talk more credit, Grandpa. Some of us here because of your personality. Take more credit. Well, whole shot, thank you. I appreciate that. Hemp shirts. Now, there's an idea. There's an idea. Going to ask you to do yourself changing your channel name to something like Sailing with Grandpa once you get your boat and start sailing. No, I started out, I'm a farmer. Always have been. Always raised critters my whole life. In fact, one of the real difficulties I'm going to have with cruising is having to buy groceries. To me, going in the grocery store was an admission of failure. I've always been canning my own, raising my own, putting my own up. And so, going to be a bit of a change for me. But, so I'm going to keep the Grandpa's Farm in there. And actually, when I get done sailing, which I may do eventually, I will probably buy some property and restart a farm just because it's my nature. So I'll just leave it Grandpa's Farm, go sailing, and we'll see how that works. T-shirts would be cool. Okay, I will look into getting some T-shirts. So looked up. Hey, actually, along that, if anybody out there knows about someone who can design T-shirts, let me know. I've got some people that can produce them for us. I just need some people to come up with some. Hashtag Grandpa is free. Cruising with Carl. There you go. Oh, gosh. Yes, one of the best live streams I've seen. Thank you, Second Chance. Take a few chickens with me. I would not take chickens with me, although there is a guy out on a sailboat with a chicken. Kid you not. If I were to do that, I would take ducks with me. They lay equally as well as chickens, and they swim. Ducks would be a much better pet to have on board a sailboat. A lily calendar. Yep. Rhonda wants me to make pictures of Lily and do a lily calendar. I'll make a prediction now. When Carl has 250,000 subs and he's making 10,000 per video, some big sponsor, someone will say he has sold out and no longer talks to his fans. Gosh, Dave, I hope not. I'll tell you right now, I really hope that's not the case. I will tell you, and just so you guys understand, my frustration level gets very high when I can't keep up with the chat and respond to people. I like to, the only thing we can really give anybody is our time, and our attention. And I'm trying to give you guys my time and attention as best I can. So, Carl and Jenny, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Hey, man, but you got to save your money. You're buying a boat. Sailing Yaka, Rand Sailing, Sailboat Story, Adventures Adrift are all great. I agree with all of those, Ramble On. Absolutely, all great. How are ducks in saltwater, though? Ducks are fine in saltwater. Ducks swim in saltwater, same as freshwater. Different varieties of wild ducks will swim in other ones, but ducks can swim in either one. Now, commercially raised farm ducks do not have the gland in them that the wild ducks have to offload the salt out of the water. So if I have commercially raised farm ducks out on a boat with me, I would have to give them a supply of fresh water for drinking, although they would swim in the salt water just fine. Money does change everybody. Unfortunately, that is true. So, yeah, Carl and Jenny, thank you, man. That's great. I appreciate that. Reap what you sow. Okay. When eventually on a cat, you'll consider hydroponic farming on board. Actually, I may be doing something with hydroponics very quickly. Oh, man. Akula, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And, yes, you will definitely see me in the Bahamas this winter. But, yeah, guys, I probably will work up some sort of hydroponics. I used to have a hydroponics lettuce machine when I lived in Montana. It was great. I had a really nice hydroponic setup and was pumping out heads of this Tom Thumb lettuce that was just awesome. And so, yeah, I will definitely start out, obviously, immediately with an herb garden. But I may try to expand from there a little bit on board as best I can, given the space I have available. So, yeah, Ma, that was real. But the most important part, I feel his videos, if you can get where I'm coming from, he really needs to move out of the islands. It's boring, though. So, Declan, I appreciate that. All I can say is let's watch some of my videos once I'm in the islands, and you'll see I do a little different take. I hope I'll make it entertaining for you. If not, then remind me, and we'll try to do something else. But I got to be in some island, someplace at some time. I can't just be out to sea all the time. So, although I would prefer being out to sea a lot. Can't find Cruising with Captain YouTube channel. What is it? Cruising. Oh, it's Carl and Jenny Goes Sailing, I think, isn't it, Carl? He's on here, Dave Gear. He's he's in the chat. Carl, yeah, Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures. You see them down there, like 2 or 3 posts after you, Dave Deer. If you click on their name, it'll give you a link to go subscribe to their channel. So they're real nice folks from England in the process of buying a boat in the Greek Isles. Really nice people. Lease to own property, $15,000 down, non-refundable. Lease to own what property, Mark? I don't know what you're referring to. Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures. Yep, there you go. Carl and Jenny Sailing Adventures. And they're a riot. They're pretty funny. He's a retired cop in England, which, and of course I'm not in England, so I wonder how different that would be than being a retired cop in America. I don't imagine he gets shot at quite as much. And I don't think all the cops in England, I don't think they all carry guns. I think some of them do now, but I don't think all of them carry guns. So he's not the usual gun-crazed American, being that he's British. So, anyhow. Okay, so what else were we going to talk about? Property sales are going fine. Packing up and hauling off garbage, washing dishes, cleaning out the cabin. Kind of weird. A little difficult throwing out perfectly good stuff, but like you guys said, maybe I'll try to move some of the stuff someplace to donate it. It's a good idea. I hate to see it go to waste. Other than that, just sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting. So, looks like we're supposed to be closing on the 15th. That's going to get delayed to like the 25th, 26th, 27th, something like that of August. And then it's, shit hit the fan time. And I'll be out of here running around like crazy. So, bean sprouts. Yes, Judy, I will be doing sprouting. I have sprouting jars. That was not aimed at you. That was aimed at Rick, the boring guy that has never sailed beyond. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Declan. I understand. Yeah, Rick does tend to stay in one specific part of the Mediterranean, or of the Caribbean, rather, all the time. He goes up and down on the outer islands, and that's all he ever does. So, there's the same anywhere in the world. It's good to be retired from it. Cool, Mike. Keith Butler is a gun-crazed American. Hey, so am I, Keith. I have unloaded my armament, and believe me, I had a bunch. I used to be a FFL dealer. I used to be a gun dealer. I had a gun shop in Ohio for many years. In fact, I can't go buy a gun hardly at all anymore. I always get delayed. You do the 4473 form that you fill out, that they have to check you, and I always get delayed because they see that I've owned thousands of guns. So, Carl's now studying up to be a skipper. That's cool. And yes, best ever I had, Declan he's right. Rick stays in those islands because that's where he makes his money. He does videos there for the marinas and stuff, and he makes money doing that. So, whenever I want to see the beautiful scenery of Alaska, I tend to watch Chuck and Laura's Cruising Leia. I missed a chance to meet them this year at the Seattle Boat Show. Yeah, they were there. They went down to the boat show this year. Yeah, good folks. They're in southeast Alaska, so they're down, south of Juneau in that area. Ways away from me. I'm up here in the mainland area. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Yep, absolutely. Why don't you leave all the stuff you don't want for the new property owners? Actually, Ramble On, I am leaving them a bunch of stuff. The lady told me that she'd like to do some farming, so I'm leaving her like all my buckets, all my feeders, all the water things. I'm leaving her a bunch of stuff. I'll leave her this too. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know if she's getting goats, but I'll leave that for her too. That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. I'm leaving her a bunch of fencing, gates, fence staples, supplies. I'm trying to leave her a bunch of stuff so that she'll have all that. So take your smaller stuff to the islands. The people there will appreciate anything you give them. Probably, but I'm going to have enough problems fitting everything I've got going on my boat now. So what's your best gun, Grandpa? Wow. My best gun is probably my AYA Royal Grade 16 gauge 1958 version. Probably worth 20 grand or so. That's my best gun, and I just gave that to my oldest son. He now has that. So, yeah, hate to see that thing go. But other than that, I had a bunch of Beretta over-unders, Browning over-unders, Ruger over-unders, Beretta trap guns, some more field guns. Hundreds of guns. So, hey, Kelly, nice to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. Mike's signing off. Thanks, Mike, buddy. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Really. Sir, you should look at a Sony FD. I am looking at the Sony AX100. I am looking at those, Wing and Tracy. I've been doing some research on them. My concern is, I was looking at the Sony for a dive camera. And my concern is, I understand it shoots in 4K, which is what I'm looking for. But inside the housing, they have a tendency to overheat and shut down after only 5 minutes. That's a problem. So instead of doing that, I think what I'm going to do is get a housing for my Canon D70. Just get a big housing for this and do it upright. The Sony 100 is a great camera, and I can buy the camera and the housing and the filters and all that for less than the housing for my Canon D70. But I don't want to be filming something in 5 minutes and have the camera shut off because it's hot. So I know from my old video camera, I used to have a Panasonic HVX 200, about a $5,000 video camera, broadcast quality video camera. And we had that in a big housing, and it would get really hot. Never shut down on us, but it should have a few times. So, Bestie has said a good while ago he's going to sail the world. Now, still waiting. Yeah, I know. I'm taking forever getting there, aren't I, Declan? I'll get there, buddy. I will get there. Would like to see some good fishing videos while you're in Alaska since you're not sailing yet. Well, Slick, that's probably not going to happen. Although, if you go back and look at some of my old videos, there are some old videos of me fishing here in Alaska off of my old boat. But I'm right now in the pack up and get mode. I'm going to be out of here in like 30 days. I don't have time to go fishing right now. In fact, my rods are hanging up over the head of me here. I just spent yesterday packing up all my rods. I got all my reels taken off and cleaned up and oiled and put away, and I ordered a bunch of new, I had to order some rod tips to replace and some new fishing line I just got on order. Man, have I been spending money. Holy crap. Cruising guides. I ordered a book, coolest book. 100 places to scuba dive before you die. I can't wait till I get that book. I really want to see what places it recommends. And whatever it recommends, I'm going to avoid like the plague, because I don't like going to commercial dive sites. But I wanted to see what areas they were referring to. But I've been buying all kinds of stuff in preparation for the trip. Swimsuits, just all kinds of stuff. Fishing gear, camera gear, just trying to get things organized while I still have an address to mail stuff to. So, good numbers, yeah, good numbers, yeah, 84, 85 people on, that's awesome. GoPro for diving. Yeah, I will have a GoPro for a backup. Ideally, what I'm going to do is set up a camera for doing, the micro work, for really looking at the macro small stuff. But then when you have a camera set up, you usually have a camera on a tray with handles. At least you want that, so you've got a good steady, not herky-jerky, camera movement. And then on the end of one of my handles, I'm going to mount the GoPro up here. So I'll have my good camera and then the GoPro mounted above that. The good camera for zooming in and shooting the really tight, small stuff, and the GoPro for getting the big picture kind of thing. I think it's a good camera setup, and it'll get me the best of both worlds. So, because, yeah, I'm going to have, not a fisheye, but I'll have a wide-angle lens on my big camera. So, and, yeah, GoPros are pretty good. And I've got the GoPro 4. I do plan on buying the 5. And the regular 5 camera and the session camera. I have a 4 camera and a 4 session. I'm going to get a 5 and a 5 session to go with me, just to have backup. Got a good supply of squid jigs. More, yeah, have a good supply of squid jigs, and I plan on getting more. I like that. Smoking Doober 420, like and subscribe. Please do, folks. Thank you. It really helps if everybody likes and subscribes. Not you, mate. I'm talking about the Portland Rick guy. He still hasn't left his old grounds. He keeps saying it's boring at this stage. Yeah. And he seems like he's using a lot of other people's footage. He's using a lot of the folks from Drenched were over there visiting with him. And he keeps going back to their footage over and over again. Whole shot, 20 bucks. Thank you, sir. Awesome. Very cool. Really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You should be able to go to the setting GoPro or turn off the fisheye. Yeah, you can adjust them, but I kind of want the GoPro for the big picture and then my good camera for the small, fine stuff. Just got the 5 black, works great. Oh, you did get the 5. Okay. Yeah, the 5 is nice because it has the screen on the back. The 4, just happen to have one of my 4s here with me. The 4, let me get out of its housing. I had to buy a separate rear screen to go on the back. See how it's a separate doohicker? So it clicks on and goes that way, but that way I got a screen to see what's going on in the back on the 4. The 5, this is built into them, which is kind of cool, I think. So, Mark, are you trying to buy my property up here in Alaska with $15,000 down? Sorry, I can't do that. Can't do that. My mortgage is way too big. Hey, Grandpa, how you doing? Hey, Austin, nice to see you. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Thank you. Austin, fishing. Sailing and icy and fishing. Yes, okay. Yeah, we'll be doing a ton of fishing, man. A ton of fishing. Rick said he was going to be posting the older footage along with current footage. I enjoy it, to be honest. Okay. Well, the Drench people are nice folks. They really are. In fact, they've talked to me about joining me for some of the sailing that I'm going to be doing, and I may do that. So we'll see. They're trying to get their own channel up off the ground. I'm actually a patron of theirs. They're good folks, so you might want to consider that. They're one of the very, very, very few people out there doing scuba diving as a channel. They're not necessarily a sailing channel. They're a scuba diving channel. And I kind of like that. We need more scuba diving channels out there. So, hard to see what Rick's playing. Okay. And I know I missed some questions, guys. If I missed your question, again, please don't feel bad about restating it or asking it again, especially when we have a little lull like right now. It's a good time to come back and ask a question if I missed it earlier. So I think I'm kind of caught up with everybody at the moment. So, anybody else have anything? Rick has some old footage from Haiti, good stuff. Yeah, he does. Rick's got a ton of content, guys. He has shot a lot of video over the years. In fact, I think his biggest problem is cataloging it, remembering where he keeps all of his footage. Second Chance Sailing is a good channel. Yes, they are. They were just on here a little bit ago, actually. Their scuba diving videos are great. Okay. Have you done any ocean passages before? Yes. No. I've not crossed the Atlantic or the Pacific before. I've crossed the Med. Not really count. That's not really an ocean. What software are you using for broadcast? I use OBS Studio for broadcasting. I don't know if it's the great, but it's what I know, and so that's what I'm using. It seems to work pretty good. And for my editing, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I actually have the Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud thing, so I've got the full package, and I'm trying to train myself and learn the others so I get better at them. So, Delos is top notch, lots of scuba. Yeah, Delos does some scuba diving, more so than most of the sailing channels. So, is the sailing community great or what? Yes, they are. They're absolutely freaking awesome. House hunters. Sorrenti, you planning on moving? You're watching House Hunters? Are you watching House Hunters International or the American version of it? Do they have a British version? I don't know. Do they have an English House Hunters? They may. I don't know. Talk about your plans for the rough seas. What is urgent and what can wait? Okay, you know, whole shot. It's interesting you brought that up. I was just talking to somebody else earlier today about what my plans are for the boat. American version. Okay, Shranti. I'm going to get the boat in Puerto Rico. I'm going to give it a quick check to make sure everything's working and can make the trip. And then I'm going to quickly move it to Florida. That should be about a 10-day run, basically. Once I get it to Florida, I'm going to put a sump pan in for the shower because it doesn't have one, so I want to get that properly functioned. I'm going to add a hot water heater to the boat. I'm going to add a water maker to the boat, a Cruise RO water maker. Rick, if you're listening, I'm giving you a plug, Cruise RO water maker. What else am I doing? Considering, I'm not sure I'm going to do this yet. I just had this idea last night. I was looking at some of the newer model CNC 37s. Mine is an 84. I was looking at something like the 88, 89, 90 models. Same designer. And what he did is he took out the nav station and he made that a freezer compartment. And I'm thinking, well, that could be a freezer compartment. That could be a washer-dryer compartment. So I'm thinking about taking out the nav station, rebuilding a new frame, and mounting into it a washer and dryer, and then having the nav station be a stand-up station that would sit on top of that. Which, let's face it, a nav station is nothing more than, you know, that's your junk drawer. You have a lift lid and you got all your crap inside there. So I was thinking about converting that over to a washer and dryer combo unit to go underneath the nav station. I think that'd be very handy to have on the boat. So those are some of my immediate plans. Obviously, checking the running rigging, the standing rigging, go through the motor completely. When I get to Florida, I may put it up on the hard. I might change out some of the through holes, make them improved. Put a swim platform on the back. Get the motor serviced. All the usual stuff. I've got some sail repairs I'm going to do with my sewing machine. I've got a sailrite. So those are sort of my immediate plans to do on the boat. Do you have Adobe After Effects, Grandpa? Yes, I do. Yep, I do have Adobe After Effects. I am not good at using it, however. I have some work to do on that. You would know about time frames. He's all over the place. Yes, I am all over the place, aren't I? I'm sorry. Will you be downloading any shows to binge watch while on board? Probably not. Probably not. I can't say I won't, but probably not. The boat's got a beautiful flat screen TV, and I've got a really nice flat screen TV, so which I may or may not take with me because I don't know if mine's better than that one. And I do have a DVD, CD-ROM player that I could take with me, and I do have some movies. In fact, in Montana, I probably got, I don't know, 400 or 500 DVDs of movies. So I did order, that's one of the things I did order. I did order a new DVD case holder. It's a little like zipper book thing that holds 400 DVDs. That way I can get rid of all the plastic cases and stuff and just, pack it down to a much smaller, easier pack thing, but we'll see. Your boat sounds short-term, don't do too much. Yeah, it may be short-term, but I'm hoping whatever I do, I'll be able to recover when I go to resell it, or at least some of that anyway. And I'm going to be on the boat for a year or so, so that would make it easier. We'll figure that out. So what are your plans for satellite comms, voice data, and SOS? I haven't come to a complete decision on that yet. There's so much new technology going on. I'm going to reassess the market once I get on the boat and see where things are at. But I imagine I'm going to have one of those cellular-based Wi-Fi units on board initially and then try to expand it from there. Well, I need larger holding tanks if you have a washer and dryer unit in the boat. No, the washer and dryer will pump straight over the side. It's not brown, it's gray water, and it's fine to go straight over the side. Solution by dilution. Hey, James Taylor. Good music, dude. That was not about you, Grandpa. That was about Rick. Okay. Declan, you keep confusing me, dude. Can't sell my flat screens. Everyone got them cheap. Somebody comes take them. Yeah. What's the hurry to get back to Florida? Why not haul out in Puerto Rico and do the work there? because all of my stuff, Mike, is going to be in a truck and trailer in Florida. Most of my possessions are going to be in Florida. I'm going to go to Puerto Rico, get the boat, bring it to Florida, get everything out of my truck and trailer, load it onto the boat, and then sell the truck and trailer. Then I'll be free to go do whatever I want to do. I may even wait till I get to the Bahamas to do some of that stuff, but I'm going to buy it while I'm in Florida, while I've got access to affordable stuff. So, how Grandpa thinks he will be superior and has better ideas than other sailing channels. Barry, I know that sounds a little egotistical of me. I understand that. You have to understand, dude, I've been studying this and researching this for like 4 decades. I've done a lot of homework. I have a lot of frustrations on how a lot of the channels that are out there aren't doing much more than, hey, this is me on a boat drinking a beer. So I'm hoping to be able to do more. And as you come along and start watching some of my videos, I'm hoping you'll get a handle for that. And if I'm not producing, call me on it by all means. I'd like to hear it. So, not pushing the button until he says hi-oh. Ohio. I'm not sure what you mean by that, last nice guy. Grandpa, forget the DVDs. You can rip them all to MP4 and place 5 to 1,000 on USB. Well, that may be true. I hadn't thought of that. You know, I'm old school, guys. I guess I just don't think along in those terms. I guess you're right. I probably should burn them all to a hard drive or something, shouldn't I? Huh. Great. Another thing that's going to take me 6 weeks to get done. Okay. Well, let me think about that. Sailing Catalpa is an interesting channel. Okay. They're good. Aren't they the ones that just quit their channel, Catalpa? Or is that, am I thinking of somebody else? No, not Catalpa. I'm thinking of somebody else. You're right. Okay. Okay, Grandpa, we look forward to your ideas. Well, thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. We want to hear about the catch and cook, which brings some of us to you rather than, is there a barbecue on board, or are you going to pan fry everything? No, I'm going to put a grill on the back of the boat. Not really a barbecue per se, but I'll be doing a lot more grilling. You know, guys, we're in the tropics. I don't want to heat up an oven. So I'll be doing a lot more cooking on the grill. The boat does not have a grill on the back right now, as I understand it. So I will be buying a brand new grill and hanging it on the back rail for cooking on. It will be gas, but I'm bringing my pizza stone and I'm bringing my crab pots and stuff with me so I could do some cooking with that on board. But I'll be doing most of my cooking out on the back. But it's not barbecue. I won't be burning charcoal. It's going to be propane, unfortunately. I can't keep charcoal dry on a boat. I've tried it before. It just doesn't work. So, close enough, I guess. Okay. I like how Ruby Rose shows the good, the bad, and ugly of sailing. Do you hope to do that? Well, yeah. I mean, Christy, I want to just keep it real. You know, it's not all, you know, drinking a cold beer with my ass in the sand and my feet in the water. A lot of it's going to be having to do uncomfortable work in uncomfortable locations. So, yeah, I mean, one thing you're going to see with my videos is I do keep it real. Catalpa, yes, the Young Family and the Whitsundays. Yep, lots of scuba footage. Yes, yep. I was thinking of, there's another channel that was similar thing. It was a family, and their name is similar to Catalpa, but it was a little different. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they just quit. They apparently got some negative comments on their channel, and they just stopped YouTube altogether. So, I'm going to put down other channels. He just wants to try something. Yeah, I'm not putting down anybody. I just want solar oven. No, Mike, probably not a solar oven. My problem with a solar oven is it's hard to keep a shiny surface in the salt environment. A solar oven is going to be a maintenance nightmare trying to keep it polished because it needs the reflection of the light to cook with. And in a high salt environment, you're going to be constantly trying to polish that metal to keep it shiny. So use lava rocks. That may be an idea. Can see a cast iron Dutch oven hanging off the stern. Pretty much. And a lot of cooking on the beach because I'm taking my cast iron with me. Weber need to do a stainless barbecue. Oh, man. Do they ever. Do they ever. Because the barbecues that you can buy for boats are ridiculously expensive for the quality they are. Ridiculously expensive for the quality. Hey, Brian, nice to see you, sir. I had a CNC 25. Just got it. Okay. Did not want to. Is yours here in South Catherine, Ontario? I think all of the CNCs were made in Ontario, weren't they? I can't say for verbatim, but I thought they were all made over there. Sea Bear is heading up to Alaska. Yep, that's what I understand. Yep. Guys, if you've not sailed up here in Alaska, you really should. Beautiful, beautiful waters. Great. I mean, the fishing is absolutely fantastic. Not just good, it's fantastic. Beautiful anchorages. You have a total privacy all to yourself. You can go shrimping. You can go crabbing. Big fish. You know, like you can go out on your little sailboat and drop a line over and hook into a 400-pound a halibut. So, you know, we've got some really big fish. So if you have a chance to come up to Alaska and go sailing, by all means do. Check out some of my early videos. You'll see I had some really great content. Georgia boy Boomer, dude, you rock. To fund the cooking items. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you, sir. Talking about Lazy Gecko. Yeah, let's not even talk about Lazy Gecko. They're a non-entity anymore. Weber makes a bolt-on barbecue. Really? I'm making notes here, so if my table's shaking, that's why. I'm going to have to check into that. Keep it simple, stupid Carl. Yes, Steve, I agree. Good night, Christy. Appreciate you coming onto the chat and joining with us. Thank you very much. Think your channel you all are thinking about. Yes, canola. Yes, that was the one. Canola, yes. Make a barbecue out of a half-size keg. There you go. Check out Sailorama. Nice. Yes, I've been watching Sailorama. Guys, you'll be hard-pressed to find a sailing channel that I'm not watching. I kid you not. As soon as they come on YouTube, I mean, I'm usually in the first 100 subscribers that they get. So, yeah, Lazy Gecko's too good for YouTube. That's right. And they're fine on Vimeo. I don't watch Vimeo. So, yeah, Boomer, thank you very much, dude. That was cool. Too cold to sail in Alaska. It is cold to sail in Alaska. What I don't like about sailing in Alaska is the water's too cold to swim in. I need to get in shape and lose weight, and I do that by swimming. I love to swim. I'm a fish. And I'm really looking forward to getting in warm water where I'll be swimming 2, 3, 4, 5, 18 times a day. So you can sail around, cook burgers, and sell them for the money. Yeah, probably could do that, Sorrenti. Probably could. Yeah, I know they have a sun oven. There's a few people out there that have a sun oven. But if you notice the sun oven that Sailorama uses, look at them carefully when they're loading them, and you'll see they're starting to get all pitted and nasty in the corners already. And this is after only a couple of months. Very hard to maintain them. Coconut oil. Coconut oil would probably help. To a thumbs down person, thanks, up or down, this man's going places. Well, thank you, Second Chance. I appreciate that. You got 6 weeks up to your sleeve. Start making jerky. I'd have to make a hell of a lot of jerky. Take that with you. I'll lose weight. I know I'll lose weight. Geckos did not come back to YouTube. Geckos is posting videos on YouTube solely for the purpose of trying to drag people over to their Vimeo channel. It's bait and switch. They put up a video, you go look at it, it's 2 minutes long, go see my Vimeo channel for the rest of the story. Not doing it. So, yes, they do good stuff. Okay. You know what, guys? It's beer 30. I'm sorry, but I'm getting thirsty. And I know I just said that I'm not going to be doing a lot of drinking on my channel, and I will not be. But I kind of like having a beer once a week, and I kind of like doing it during my live stream. I don't know why, but this is my beer for the week. I kid you not, I bought a 12-pack of Heineken. Obviously, I bought it 8 weeks ago, or 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago, because this is number 11, I only got one left. So, they aren't a fish, they're a sea mammal. Okay. Yes, they were until they went broke, and some American guys bought them, and I unsubscribed from Lazy Gecko. Yeah, I unsubscribed Lazy Gecko too. Lily is in her crate, although you probably just heard her mourning. Yeah, Sailing Miss Porn Star's doing the same thing on Vimeo. I'm not a big fan of going over to Vimeo. The thing I don't like about, okay, Declan's asking, the thing I don't like about Vimeo is the approach that channels take to get you over there. I've seen too many channels switch and bait you. Or bait and switch, whatever it is. You know, they'll talk about a story, they'll get you invested in it, they'll get you all interested in the story, and then a big cliffhanger. If you want to see the rest of the story, you have to go to my Vimeo channel. Sorry, not doing that. And you do that to me twice, and I'm done with your channel. You know, there's too much good content out there to be suckered into that kind of stuff. I did it once. Frankly, on Selling Him as Porn Star, she did one. She said, if you want to see the rest of it, go to her thing. I went to the Vimeo. I paid my $5 to watch one video. It was no different than what she had up on YouTube. I'll never do it again. I don't need to pay $5 to see naked breasts. You know, I've been around too long. I've seen too many of them. I'm not too with it anymore. Yeah, Dave, only this time it's not Beck's. It's Heine's. I bought Heineken this time because they were out of Beck's. I usually prefer Beck's or Heineken. Beck's, they do this weird thing up here in Alaska. They sell 4 packs of Beck's. You get 4 cans and they're the tall boys. They're not the regular cans. They're the tall ones. And they sell them for $4.99, which on a per ounce basis is cheaper than buying Heineken by the 12-pack. So I was buying the 4 packs of Beck's because they were the least expensive, but still a good beer. And they didn't have any, so I bought Heineken this last time. So, but you know, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes the beers just hits the spot. And right now it's hitting the spot. Yes, Mike, I agree with you completely. I talk too much about other channels. I do. A lot of times people ask my opinion and I'm an idiot and I give it to them, and I shoot myself in the foot with that so much. So, but I do talk too much about other channels. But I do like to give shout outs to other channels that are doing good stuff. Like Carl and Jenny on here. You know, I've sent a lot of people over to their channel to go see them. Whenever there's a new channel that comes out that's producing some good quality content, man, I like to send people over there and have them go take a look at it. So I don't mind giving shout outs to some of the other channels and helping them out a little bit and sending folks over there. Not that I'm a great big channel and I've got a huge following, but the people that do follow me know that I tend to be a fairly straight shooter, or at least I try to, and I try to give you the truth of the matter. So I'm not going to tell you to go over and look at something that's not producing good content. I bet Don likes Miss Lone Star. Amen. Weigel's going to have one too. There you go. Awesome. Second chance sailing, LOL. Yes, love hearing opinions. Yeah, well, you know, opinions are like, so. Grandpa, you're already kicking ass and you're not even on your boat. Okay. I don't know if I'm kicking ass exactly yet, but yeah, I think I've developed a pretty good solid following of good people that, you know, like to listen to my nonsense and listen to me talk, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to be starting generating a lot more content. In fact, this week I've got a video I've been working on that's going to be coming out very soon. You know how they do these unpacking videos where you know, they buy something and then they show you how they unpack the box and whatever's in the box? I'm going to do some packing videos. I'm going to do some videos to show you what I'm packing to take with me for a sail around the world. And I've got a video coming out this week. It's going to be on my scuba gear. What scuba gear I'm packing to take with me to sail around the world. So you might find that interesting. Kind of the opposite of an unpacking video, but we'll see. Carl and Jenny, very much appreciate it. Well, you're welcome. I love unboxing videos. Well, this is not going to be an unboxing video. It's going to be I don't know. I may have some unboxing videos. I have a lot of stuff on order. I got a whole bunch of stuff on order right now. I can't believe how much money I spent this week. Unbelievable. Sailing, catching, and cooking. The comments get you off track. Man, they do get me off track. Watch this channel. Boat Works Today. Yes, I watch Boat Works Today. Guy does great work on a boat. Okay, let's talk about catching and cooking. So, whole shot, a lot of different things that I'm going to be doing. You never see any of these sailing channels doing, okay, occasionally you'll see them go down and catch a lobster. Occasionally, that's fine. When was the last time you saw any of the cruising channels doing any shrimping? Catching shrimp. Tons of shrimp in the ocean. Anybody that scuba dived or snorkeled and you hear that crackly sound in the water, that crackly sound, guys, is shrimp. That's what makes that crackly sound. So I plan on doing a lot of shrimping, a lot of crabbing, grabbing a lot of crabs from the bottom. A lot of hunter-gathering stuff, you know, how to get dinner. So I want to see you loading the boat. Well, there'll be a bunch of that. Yep, true, but it seems to be the major topic. Grandpa has 40 years of research and planning. Time to tap into that. Yes, Mike, you know, I don't know about, yeah, okay. Yes, research and planning, dreaming, all of that. That's what I've been doing. So I like Aubrey. You know, guys, I have to say this. With Sailing Miss Porn Star, which her name's, that's what I call her. It's really a Sailing Miss Lone Star. Her name's Aubrey. She's been taking a lot of crap lately. I do like what she's doing right now with the fact that she's bought her own boat, a cow, which of course I'm biased. I like cows. But she's bought a cow and she looks like she's doing a pretty good job of fixing it up. So I'm interested to see her get her own boat, fix up her own boat, and go sailing on her own. She's got her daughter with her. She's still doing the Vimeo nonsense, which isn't cool, and I'm not watching that. I'm no longer subscribed to her channel, but I do have to give kudos to her for the fact that she's actually bought her own boat and doing her own thing now and trying to fix up a boat and get it seaworthy so she can go sailing. You got to like that. So, documenting your trip to Florida and Puerto Rico. And actually, SV Akula, let me talk about that. I'm going to start documenting and putting up video content on a daily basis the moment I pull out of my driveway here in Alaska. I'm going to take you guys along for the drive down the Alcan. I'm going to take you guys along while I'm in Montana, sorting through the stuff that I got to sort through in Montana for a couple days. I'll try to keep that to a minimum because it's not going to be real exciting stuff. But I will show you parts of Montana, places where I used to go elk hunting and used to go fishing on the Yellowstone River, that kind of stuff. I'm going to shoot footage of me driving across the Midwest to Ohio, visit my grandkids, and then driving down to Florida, then flying over to get the boat, taking the boat back over to Florida. Although I've met some folks, some friends of mine, who is in the process of buying a boat down in Florida, and I may jump on board his boat with him, and he and I may sail down to Florida together, or down to Puerto Rico together, because he's kind of new to this. So a lot of interesting things, a lot of variables up there working on that we're trying to get done. So crabbing and shrimping would be cool. Yes, it would be. Hope you like tons of, I like sushi. I make my own sushi. I like sushi. I don't have a problem with that. So, yeah, Deer Meat for Dinner has a good channel. Absolutely. He does a good job. Beer away till you get to the Med. Oh, man. I've been to the Med before, so I know how good the beer is over there. In fact, my favorite beer is Keo, K-E-O beer, and it's on Cyprus. It's one of the reasons why I like the island of Cyprus. They have the best beer I've had in my life. Had good memories for me. Hope your taxi to Puerto Rico. Hope Maui-Lei, hope I'm your taxi to Puerto Rico. Yes, that's what we've been talking about, Maui-Lei. We're going to go down there together. I think that would work and be very cool. So, what color is your selfie stick? That color. It's a WRYD. It's all aluminum, so the salt water won't bother it any, except for the rivet through it, which I understand is stainless, and I understand all the stainless GoPro parts are also there. And I also can mount my big camera on this as well, although it's kind of heavy with that. But that's one of my selfie sticks. Here again, I'm not much on selfies, but I just happen to have that handy. I was in the process of organizing and packing it, so. And yes, I'm going to stop and see Rhonda when I'm in Ohio as well. Take her out to dinner or something. Miss Lone Star banned me for a comment. Well, if she banned me for a comment, that's all good. That's all fine. My comment to her was I didn't like the fact that she was baiting and switching and taking people to Vimeo. So if I got banned, well, what the hell? I've been thrown out of better places. Keo beer, LOL, lived in Cyprus, still have an apartment. Oh, really? Cool. And now, isn't Keo a good beer? I like Keo beer. I guess the reason why I like Keo beer, the last time I was in Cyprus, I was there with my father, and he and I sat down one afternoon, and he and I just sat, talked, and had a beer. It was a great memory for me, and it's one of the reasons why I like the beer. The beer also tasted very good, don't get me wrong, but it has a special place in my heart because I spent an afternoon sitting in a little cafe there drinking a beer with my dad. So, does your selfie stick float? I believe it does. But I'm going to test it and find out. If it doesn't, I've got a float that I can put on the end of it to keep it up in the air. Or keep it up on the surface. So, how hard would it be to rip out your boat's AC? That's useful storage. I don't know how hard it would be, but I like air conditioning. So I'm going to leave that in. Although I don't like how air conditioning can get kind of moldy, but I do like air conditioning. So, I like it. Looks like Bahamas turquoise color. Okay. Yeah. Looks like, yeah, blue, turquoise, blue, aluminum. So, kokanee beer. Yeah, kokanee's not bad. Had a lot of that in Montana that was available there. Let's see. Go to wind festivals in Cyprus. It's cool. Go to wind festivals. Okay. What's a go to wind festival? Wine. There you go. Now we're talking, Slick Milano. Wine. One of the things I'm going to look forward to is trying out a lot of the wine, especially back in the Med again. Some awesome wines over there. Hopefully you can shoot down to Florida when you get your boat back there for your refit, so I could throw in my 13% to help you with the work. I live in Georgia, so the drive wouldn't be too... Hey, Keith, that sounds like a plan. You'd be welcome on the boat, certainly. Yeah, absolutely. If you go to Greece, you have to try the real ouzo. I have tried the real ouzo, and I like the real ouzo, that licorice liquor. Awesome stuff. Yep, drank more than my fair share of ouzo. And ouzo is not just Greek. The Turks drink ouzo. The Egyptians drink some ouzo. So I had a lot of ouzo in Egypt, actually. I had one really bad night in Egypt. I was at a friend's party that he was throwing because his son had been born, and his son had now gotten to be so many days old, and they don't celebrate a birth until the kid lives so many days or whatever. Anyhow, they were having a big party, and I drank too much ouzo that night. That I remember badly. So, Captain 10 Star, you take it easy, man. Sorry, you got to go. We'll see you later. How much selling experience do I have? I have a shitload of selling experience, Paul, but you're probably wanting to know about my sailing experience. I'm a real estate broker, and I used to be a stockbroker before that, so I have a lot of selling experience. As to my sailing experience, I've chartered down in the Caribbean a few times. I learned to sail on a small Sunfish when I was a kid. I've owned a couple of sailboats, so I've got some sailing experience. I'm certainly no expert, but, I know the difference between a rope and a halyard. So, read an article recently about a man in Japan that had an unexplained itchy skin condition. He went to the doctor, they took an x-ray, and his entire body was full of fluke. Oh, worms from eating sushi. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen where people can get worms from it. Hey, PC guy, how you doing? Yeah, I just recently saw a thing where a guy was eating sushi and ended up with worms throughout his entire body. That happens. Stuff can happen. How are you going to feed Lily on the boat? Commercial dog food or make your own for her? Yes, all the above. Actually, Miss Lily loves fish. I think she's part cat. Whenever I get bait on board the boat, which is usually I get, small chub fish or something like that to cut up for bait, or I'll catch a fish and use it. If I leave any fish laying around on deck where she can get to it, she'll eat it. In fact, I got to be very careful keeping hooks away from her, because if I have a baited hook, she'll go for it and try to eat it. So I have had to be very careful. She really likes the taste of fish. So I don't think I'll have much trouble keeping her well fed, but I do plan on keeping a storage of some dry dog food for her at all times, commercially made. And you can buy dog food all over the world. So that's not nearly as big of a problem as what you might think, but I'll probably maintain a couple 100 pounds on board at all times for her, which will be kept in airtight totes. So you keep getting off track with comments about dump crab. Let's talk about sailing, catching, and cooking. Dump crab. Okay. Sorry, whole shot. Okay, what do you want to know about sailing, catching, and cooking? A lot of the videos that I'm going to do are going to be, hey guys, I'm hungry. I'm going to put on my mask and snorkel, jump in the water, and see what's for dinner. Literally, that's exactly what I plan on doing. I'll jump in with the spear gun or the sling and see what I can find. And whatever I shoot's what I shoot, and that's what I have for dinner. And then I'll bring it up and I'll clean it and show you how I do that, and I'll show you how I cook it and prepare it. So I rather imagine I'm going to go through a lot of oils and, you know, a lot of breadcrumbs and a lot of lemons and, you know, but I plan on being creative and doing some different things with it. So, you know, you just can't do fried fish every night. You know, you can do fried fish, grilled fish, but different types of fish. And so we'll go through that. And there are some fish that you don't want to get. You know, it's one of the reasons why I really like spear fishing, because when I'm spear fishing, I can be very selective about what I shoot. When you're fishing, you catch whatever bites the hook. Sometimes you can take it off the hook, throw it back. Sometimes you can't. When I'm spear fishing, I'm not going to drop the hammer on something unless I know it's really good eating. So I kind of like that. And we'll be doing a lot of that as we're going along. So 23 foot, kind of rough water for such a little boat. Well, where'd you get 23 feet from? My boat's a 37. I don't know where you got 23 from. Good question with feeding Lily. Yeah, spent the day doing work on the off-grid property. Oh, cool. So I may have missed some questions in there, guys. The chat bumped up on me. If I missed your question, please ask it again. I came in and called it a day by 11 a.m. right now. It gets too hot to stay out. Man, I can understand that. Not hot up here. It was 59 degrees this morning. Been pretty cold, so fish-loving dog with a crazy fishing bloke and hooks is definitely going to end up with future episodes. Yes, my veterinary skills and my hook removal skills are excellent. Par excellence, actually. I'm very good at having to deal with that kind of stuff. Had a lot of experience. My daughter, who's obviously been with me for the last 20 years, has been a dog musher. And before that, I've been a breeder of Labrador Retrievers most of my life. I literally have owned hundreds and hundreds of dogs. So I'm well versed at having to deal with dog emergencies. So I don't know for sure. I've never sailed. It sounds to me the boat would be kind of small for the rough waters. Probably know more about that than me. Yeah, 23 feet is way too small. Although cruising Leia, they're on a 27-foot boat. And they've sailed from Hawaii to Florida and back to Hawaii and back to Florida. I'm sorry, not Florida. Alaska. Alaska to Hawaii and back to Alaska and stuff on a small 27-foot boat, which they're in the process right now of remaking. So if you get a chance, go to their YouTube channel, Cruising Leia, L-E-A-L-E-A, and you'll see their boat. But no, normally, I mean, even the boat I'm buying is a 37-footer, and that's kind of small for me. It can be done. There's a lot of people out there cruising on 30-footers. But if I want to cross oceans, I'd like something a little bit larger than that. So in Greece, you can't have a spear gun on board if you have scuba equipment on board. Ooh, I didn't know that. Well, I'll have to figure something out. Yeah, there's no fish left in the Med really for spearing anyway. It's been so overfished. It's been a bit of a problem. Fresh fish, crab, or shrimp have no idea what they're missing. Yes, that is very true. If you've not eaten it right out of the ocean, you're clueless. 27-foot Vega. Yes, Weigold, you're right. Cruising Leia is sailing on a 27-foot Vega. Vegas are very nice boats. But right now, they're doing a complete strip and rebuild. I mean, they stripped their boat down to the hull and are rebuilding the interior, all new bulkheads and everything. Pretty amazing what they're doing to their boat. So I've seen some sad people pouring alcohol in a fish's gills Pouring alcohol is just a good waste of good alcohol. That's ridiculous. Yeah, give it a good smack in the head. That usually kills it pretty quickly. I like to bleed out my fish very quickly. So I'll gill them and then hang them and let them drip out a little bit and get them cleaned out as fast as possible. The more blood you get out of the animal, the better the meat will be. So, trying to get Carl to do some Northwest Passages. No, hell no. Hell no. Not doing a Northwest Passage. Too cold. Didn't come on today. Thanks for entertaining us, Pup. We're gonna get some dinner. Thanks again. Well, whole shot. You take care, buddy. I'm sorry Selling Doodles wasn't on this week. Hopefully Bob will have something on next week. I'm glad you were here and joined us. Thank you very much for your time and patience, sir. You should get some Persian blue salt for grilling fish. Persian blue salt. Why? What's the advantage of having Persian blue salt? And why don't I know about Persian blue salt? You know, I actually graduated high school from a U.S. Navy DOD school in Bahrain. So I know the Persian Gulf. In fact, I did a lot of scuba diving in the Persian Gulf, but I've not heard of Persian blue salt before. Is a shrimp the same as a prawn? Yes, it is. A shrimp is the same as a prawn. It just depends on where you're from. Different places will call them different things. Some people say a shrimp is just the body and a prawn is the entire critter. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a shrimp is a shrimp and a prawn is a prawn, and depending on where you live is what they call them, but they're all basically the same thing in my book. At least they look the same and they pretty much taste the same. So, all right. Well, we'll see. We've been an hour and 45 here. You guys have any other questions for me? If not, I think we may try to wrap this up. Been a certain nice aftertaste, especially with fish. What has a certain nice aftertaste? Oh, the salt has a nice aftertaste with the fish, huh? Okay, I'll have to look that up. Persian salt. Persian salt. Blue, you said. I'll check that out. Declan, you taking care, buddy? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You take care. Have a good time. I call them eating. There you go, PC guy. I love shrimp. I could sit down and eat a ton of shrimp. You're sailing in 12 knots of wind, flying a head sail in Maine. Okay. While fishing 2 lines behind the boat, the wind increases to 25 knots. Both lines hook fish. Do you land the fish, reef, or put pants on? Well, that's easy. First thing I would do is head up into the wind and drop both sails. And keep myself, lock the steering wheel in so I'm headed up into the wind. And then I would reel the fish in. That's what I would do. Doesn't matter what the wind speed is at that point. I would drop both sails. If I'm out, fishing, trying to catch dinner, I'm going to catch dinner. So, shrimp, prawn, they're all dinner. There you go. MJ Sailing has done a lot of nice work on their boat. Yes, they have. Yep, they're very handy. Good long stream tonight. Thanks, Sorrente. I appreciate that. That has to have been a sailing fishing question. That was to have a sailing. Okay. Well, there you go. So I gave you a sailing fishing answer. Hawaiian black salt's good too. All right. Is prawn a freshwater shrimp? Not to my knowledge. Hey, Marie, you take care. We'll see you later. Thanks for visiting with us. Never heard of Persian salt before. Nope, never heard of Persian salt before. Nope. I guess I've been too remote for too long. But hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it an evening here. I appreciate you guys all being here and watching and helping out. Certainly those of you that donated. If you would, please check out my Patreon page if you care to join in there and become part of the inner circle. If not, that's all good too. We'll be putting another live stream up next Sunday as things develop. And hopefully we will catch you guys next week. You guys take care, be careful, have fun out there, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.